chasing the stars, we'll stride into the dawn. Never back down till the battle is won. Face each foe with hearts brave and true, unafraid of the unknown, because I'll face it all with you.
Hello, I'm the reviewer. You review it, I review you. This is my partner, Mr. It. So, you may remember a while back, we took a look at a reading of an Amazon review for sugar-free gummy bears. It was an interesting piece, to say the least. What could have been summed up as, "these things gave me diarrhea during an important test," was turned into a surprisingly well-written novella. And apparently, it has inspired others to do the same, and we have a Patreon request to look at one. This thing was basically Dipper Goes to Taco Bell. While it was just as surprisingly well written as the other review, that one used its metaphors to more prevent getting a clear picture of the event, let's call it. Whereas here, the writer is very clearly trying to get you to imagine in horrid detail, which honestly I refuse to show off here. Not to mention that the metaphors they use are really just very off color. Now, normally I would hand off a video like this to Redo to give basic thoughts on Reduced Reviewer.
Thank you for sparing me.
But there were a few moments that really fascinated me that I had to discuss. First, the fact that this reading is almost a half-hour long. God damn, the other one wasn't even 5 minutes! I've held the notion that while having a joke go on for so long can be funny in a look at the commitment sort of way, it more often becomes tiresome very quickly. The other review was able to strike that balance nicely, while this one feels like it's taking forever to get to a, quite frankly, unfunny punchline. Mainly because it was told a lot better by someone else. It's kinda like hearing the Aristocrats joke from someone who only thinks it's funny because of how long it goes. Now, granted, the patron was kind enough to send a link that started the video about halfway, claiming that that's where the actual review starts. Except no, starting in the middle where I did just made the whole thing even more confusing. Though, granted, part of that was because the narrator made the word agents sound like aliens, and I thought somewhere this went off the rails into a probing story.
Two of the other agents, a tall, dark-haired female.
The second thing is the claim that this whole thing is real, and that if you don't believe it, then check the Toronto Star article from April of 2013. So, naturally, I looked into it, and no such article exists. Sorry, I've been playing Spider-Man 2 a lot lately and couldn't help myself. Point being that while I've heard that the news can be slow in Canada, even they have to have better news articles than "man gets sick from gummy bears." Finally, the realization of just how many of these things there are. Honestly, while I'm sure there are some other good ones out there, law of averages and all, I can't help but feel like most of these were written in an attempt to gain the same notoriety. But this one way overshot it. Really, just stick with the other one we covered. I'm the reviewer. You review it, I review you.